Hi everyone, it's me, Redderton Green here, and I'm unfortunately recording this after I have, recording the audio for this after I have actually played the episode. If you can believe it. Unfortunately for me, it seems that while I was recording the re-recording for episode 3, doing the recording for episode 5 and 6, my mic wasn't working, so that means I have to do the commentary after the fact, which is going to be interesting in my opinion. Oh yeah, and you'll hear occasional blurbs of my original commentary in there, because fun. Unfortunately, it seems my mic wasn't in top condition, so it only picked up certain things. So right now, what I'm essentially doing is I'm heading over to the challenge gate that I had originally missed. This challenge gate essentially has in the last well then. Unfortunately, I can't really rip the commentary from it, so I'm gonna have to work with this. So, the challenge gate essentially has two challenges. They're both flight challenges. One is an obstacle course and the other is a race. After which I will be collecting the rest of the dragonflies that are possible, as well as collecting the rest of the gems, which unfortunately I think takes me a long time. So we're gonna just, for the purpose of videos where I have to record the audio after the fact, I will be cutting out the loading screens starting now. Alright, so Bonsai Speedway is the first flight-based challenge sort of mini-game that you will get out of the entire game. Like I said, there's Time Attack, which is an obstacle course, in which you have to fly through rings, light lanterns, bust rickshaws, and then knock out the Riptocs from the sky. It's all well and good, but unfortunately, I only am able to do this in one go because I know what I am doing. The first few parts are just simple maneuvering tactics. Flying through the rings is easy enough as you start flying through them early. Superman 64, anyone? Flying through the lanterns is a little trickier. Remember that it is circle to use the breath attack and not square, because if you press square you will be sent diving into the water, and that's an automatic disqualification. Now for the rickshaws, what you want to do is you want to start going at the ground in the super tackle sort of position, but you want to go around the opposite way that they're going. This way you will minimize the amount of time you spend chasing them. Likewise, you want to do the same for the Riptocs. Ultimately, I did finish earlier in my second attempt here than I did finishing my first attempt in the original recording, which I finished 0.75 seconds, and this time I finished with less than 10, I believe. Less than 10 seconds. Oh yes, and you have to attack them with the flame attack, otherwise they do not go down. This is something that I did not realize, so I was freaking out a little bit, but you don't need to worry, because they're going to be flying around in a circle. And that's how you get the first obstacle course done, and there you go. Easy as pie.
Hey, it's Rashomon!
Now then, Race the Ninjas is a slightly more difficult version of... it's a slightly difficult race, unfortunately. You're going to be following a red dotted pathway and flying through these green rings. You do not have to follow the red dots, but you do have to fly through the green rings. If you miss one, you're disqualified. What you want to do is you deviate from the path to reach these blue stars, which are super boosts. There are 3 of them or 4 of them. No, 3 of them. Unfortunately, I didn't make it this time because that second power boost does send you into a spiral towards the gate, but you have to know how you're controlling in order to get through it. This is the only way you can manage to win in first, unfortunately. You don't have to get the second boost, though. I've managed to complete it without getting the second boost, but you need to get it at least once. Ultimately, this isn't difficult, you just need to know what you're doing. Which is unfortunate that I was playing it semi-blind, but thank goodness I had to do a re-recording. Yeah, unfortunately I had to restart there. I was a little bit upset, I think. Because ultimately you can't mess up too much, otherwise you won't win, and you won't be able to get the Dragonfly. And that was just an outright fail because I was being stupid. So, I believe it's either this one or if I fail this one, the next one, but I do manage to complete this rather easily. Oh, no, it's the next one, I think. That was a really stupid fail there. Unfortunately, though, you have to immediately after getting that ring, immediately fly towards the blue star, otherwise you're not going to get it. But ultimately, it shouldn't be too difficult. You could just hop from blue star to blue star. Never get the red star that allows you to get a missile. It is ultimately purposeless and will waste your time, as going straight ahead ultimately takes less time than it is to deviate to grab the rocket to try and attack one of the Riptocs. I have to say, I'm getting pretty good at this. I'm a little bit surprised at myself. I'm usually not this good at video games. I'm pretty decent, but rhythm games is where I really shine, unfortunately. I don't really know what to talk about, unfortunately. All this was pre-recorded, and I'm only doing this because I don't want to either skip this video because it would not be fun to skip it, and I don't want to just submit it with like these little bleeps and blurs from my original recording. Little flaps, pressing the X button to flap for victory. So, unfortunately, I have to record this afterwards because I have no way of replaying this without absolutely redoing everything.
Hey, it's your Jimbo.
Unfortunately, I have to do that quite often, but I've got a system in place now. As of now, I believe episode 8 has been recorded. So we'll look forward to that. The reason why I don't mention number 4 being affected by this silent thing... Oh wait, gotta cut out. So the reason why episode 4 wasn't affected by this whole silence thing is because, unfortunately, episode 4 did not record while I was re-recording episode 3 and recording 4 through 6. So I had to re-record that as well, along with episodes 7 and 8, which you are probably going to enjoy, as they do feature my roommate, whom I hope a lot of you will like. So now, I believe, is collecting the last Dragonfly here. Oh yes, the cliff. Unfortunately, it's hit or miss whether you actually make it across that cliff, and I do have plenty of problems with that cliff. So, looking at this after the fact, and looking at how much footage I captured just looking for the stupid dragonfly, not the stupid dragonflies, the stupid gems that I had missed, I was not too happy. Especially since I was looking for one that was like, oh my goodness, was it in such a silly place. Anyways, frustrating bubble mechanics trying to capture another stinking dragonfly. And there we go. I believe that's all the dragonflies you can get until you get Ice Breath. Now, it's time to collect all the gems possible in the game. In this level, at least. So yes, there are 700 in this level, and I'm gonna spend a while looking for them, unfortunately. So, yeah, need to pick a decent spot to go look for that, for fast forwarding. I will come back at certain key moments though, so don't worry. But for now, let's hurry up. Alright. Let's fast forward this now. People. People come from grapes. Great way to start that. Raisins come from grapes. People come from apes. I come from Canada. I came in first place in a non-existent race. And there we go. There's one of the gems. Now we just have how many left? Fast forward. I came in first place in a non-existent race to rebuild the Parthenon. The Parthenon's in Greece, or was it in Greece too? I can't keep my movies straight. When I make mistakes, I use a lot of salt. Salt makes mistakes taste great. And there's gem number 2. Only a few more to go at this point. Actually, I think one's coming up right soon. Oh, there it is. And fail. Alright. Time to fast forward once more. And not enough time to start singing the next verse. Goody. And there's the next gem. Now we just have one more, and I have to tell you, it's in a really silly place, and I take a long time to find it. So, let's start fast forwarding again. I don't mean to be a bother, but I think the phone's for you. I have orange pants, I wear them when I dance, but I don't go out that much. You are just too loud, I met you in a crowd. Thank you, and keep in touch. I can't speak Chinese, not even things like please. Thank you or how are you, but I can parle français. I parled a bit today, it seemed like the right thing to do. I don't want to be a bother, but I think you're in my seat. There we go! The last gem! That took forever. It was almost 9 minutes. I had to look through 9 minutes of footage just to find it. Anyways, next episode's gonna be coming up with me and one of my roommates. Look forward to it. Bye, peoples.